Greetings everyone, Sylvain Dance 98 back at it again with another reaction to GARO, the complete history. Now, we're back at it with the next, I think 4 parts would do well here. Let's see what the next 4 parts of this franchise are. Well, yeah, turn back up my volume here.
2014 continued with the Makai Flower, following the story of Raiga Seijima, son of Koga and Kaoru. When Raiga was 6, his mother was taken into a portal, prompting her father to follow and never return. Raised by Ganza, Koga's faithful butler, Raiga aimed to become the next GARO. He trained alone until Zero became his master. Raiga searched for the spirits of past GAROs and in the process discovered his father, Koga, was still alive in another realm. After humans unsealed the horrors, an ancient evil entity, the demon beast Aerith, was awakened. Because of this, a Makai priestess sacrificed herself in order to give her daughter Mayuri the ability to seal horrors, thus making her a mago.
Interesting little part of the lore there.
Raiga and Mayuri, along with fellow Makai Knight Crow, teamed up to stop Aerith, and after Raiga became Light Awakening GARO, the group was ultimately successful in defeating her. Raiga was played by Masai Nakayama, who also appeared in Kamen Rider Hibiki and Kamen Rider Kiva. Mayuri was played by Natsumi Ishibashi, known for her work in Kamen Rider Fozit, and Crow was played by Atam Mizuishi, who would later appear in Kamen Rider Gio, Kira Major, and Kamen Rider Gav. He also played Alphonse Elric in the live-action Full Metal Alchemist movie.
That's why I saw him before. I was just like, wait, that guy looks familiar. That sounds like,
After introducing a fresh new premise, the events of the series would see Raiga and Mayuri become close, and fans would look forward to the next project in the GARO franchise.
The anime version.
Also in 2014 was the first GARO anime project with the Carved Seal of Flames, beginning a new continuity within the franchise, starring a new Makai Knight named Leon Lewis and Alfonso the King. This story featured a powerful Madogo ring known as Zirkel's Ring, created by Makai alchemist Mendoza, which is capable of controlling horrors and bringing the dead back to life. But in order to power the ring, Mendoza sacrificed people, which he viewed as a small cost for his power. But this would ultimately cause him to be shunned from the Makai Order and marked forever as punishment. Mendoza would eventually start a family, but his mark would cause him great humiliation and rage, and he unalived his family in cold blood in order to hide his past. In the aftermath, he would recruit horrors as minions and position himself as the king's advisor, leveraging his influence to destroy the Makai Order. He was nearly successful, with only a small number of knights remaining during these perilous times. Mendoza captured a pregnant Makai priestess named Anna and would execute her, but she used her magical skills to cast a protective aura over her child, who was rescued by Anna's husband and the child's father, named Germain Luis. Anna was the daughter of a GARO, and the child, named Leon, would train for the next 17 years to become a skilled Makai Knight and take up the role of GARO. The father and son duo would travel and cut down horrors while plotting their vengeance against Mendoza. Eventually, the king named...
Dang, this feels familiar from Castlevania almost, minus the fact that Lisa Tepish wasn't pregnant.
Alfonso fled his kingdom to find a Knight of Light and were introduced to Rafael Banderas, who's a Makai Knight named Gaia. In time, Alfonso would discover that he's of Makai Knight lineage, and Gaia trained him to eventually wield the GARO armor and battle Mendoza alongside Leon. This anime series had beautiful artwork, and it was a bold new direction for the franchise, within a new medium, serving to expand GARO's fanbase worldwide.
Definitely gonna check out that one.
In 2015, fans would return to the story of Hyuga with a movie called Goldstorm Flight, also known as Goldstorm Show, setting the table for the next series on the list of the same name. Long before the events of this film, a Makai priest named Sotatsu created a Madogu, a magical tool named Ago, to eradicate the world of all horrors. Unlike many other Madogu, Ago was humanoid and could even wield a sinister-looking suit of armor that resembled that of a samurai. Along with Sotatsu, Ago was defeated by a horror named Degol before awakening in the modern day, where he would continue his mission of destroying all horrors. He came to believe that humans must be destroyed due to their inga, or negative emotions, being responsible for spawning these horrors.
That would do it for twisting the sense of need for who to hunt down. And why.
Ago would clash with Hyuga, returning to the franchise following The One Who Shines in the Darkness. Despite both of them seeking a world free of horrors, they couldn't agree on how to deal with the human population, and this intense clash would lead Ago to realize the error in his ways. The climax would lead to a fight between Hyuga and Degol, the horror that killed Ago's creator Sotatsu. Ago would sacrifice himself to provide Hyuga with an empowered sword in order to defeat Degol. This film features Sakina Kue as a priestess named Ryume, and she also appeared in Geki Ranger and Akiba Ranger. Ago was played by Shunya Isaka, best known for appearing in the Caesar X movie. This was an explosive and interesting film, and it was an excellent introduction to the next GARO project.
All I can say is Guts from Berserk would be proud of that sword. Them that thigh armor, I tell
Goldstone
you.
Flight, the series, continued Hyuga's story directly after the events of the film. After an intense battle with Ago and Degel, Hyuga and Ryan become the guardians of Lion City, always ready to defend the city from the threat of horrors. The duo must recover an item called the Hoken sword, which has been divided into a set of 2 daggers. During the events of the show, they meet a Makai priest named Gal.
Wait, sword turns to 2 daggers. Not the strangest thing I've seen. After all, there was that one Wreck of the Flame Ninja, I think, where this one kid had the sword that could turn into a bow, that could turn into a sickle and a chain, that could turn into a pair of daggers, that could turn into a pair of scissors, that could turn into like an axe or something like that, and then turn into a wrecking ball and chain. Then I think it was like the 7 puzzle form one or something like that. Huh. The more you know.
As well as a Makai knight named Daigo, played by Tomohito Wakizaki, who appeared in Ultra 7X and Don Brothers, and he wields the armor of Giga, the Beast Form Knight. Fans were also treated to the appearance of Masahiro Inoue as a Makai knight horror named Jinga, and he's most famous for playing Kamen Rider Decade himself, one of the most recognizable and prolific Toku characters of all time.
Yeah, he does look familiar, but
This story revolves
looks like he's
around
gone
the
a bit
pursuit of the fabled
unhinged.
weapon, as well as the overarching villainy of Jinga, which would eventually lead him into a final confrontation with Ryuga. This resulted in Ryuga believing that Ryan was dead, but she would be resurrected, and the duo, along with Ryume, would continue their sacred mission into the future.
Well, thank goodness she didn't die.
This was another great entry into the GARO franchise, with a great cast of Toku veterans, and Ryuga's story would continue forward.
Spirits are nothing more than illusions.
Alright. Guess I'll stop there for now, because this looks like another one of the anime projects. So, that was pretty fun. That was a fun little mixture there. Yeah, that was 4. That was 4, right? If it's not, then hey, it was a pretty fun ride either way. Anyway, you guys take care. Hopefully you enjoyed this section of GARO's history here, as we continue on to enjoy more of it. And tomorrow, more Pokemon Coliseum bosses. Let's get to it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. Let's get more of this GARO content out to people, because I had never heard of him until I saw him in the horror Halloween one. I'm just like, huh, I'll have to check that out. That sounds like a fun series. It looks like a fun series. You guys take care. See you in the next video.